If you go to Maiduguri, go to their airport, each time you will see at least 2 to 3 private jets parked there, owned by NGOs. Most of the offices in Maiduguri are owned by NGOs. And Yobe, what are they doing there? And the insurgency is mostly in the north. What are they doing there? Most adorable Speaker, my name remains Honorable Amobi Godwin Oga. I represent Nigerians through the good people of Isukwato and Umunnochi Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I come from Abia State. Mr. Speaker, this matter is a very, very serious matter that requires a special ad hoc committee, not just to investigate what the congressman have said, but to investigate all non-governmental organizations in Nigeria. Because if you go to Maiduguri, go to their airport, each time you will see at least 2 to 3 private jets parked there, owned by NGOs. Most of the offices in Maiduguri are owned by NGOs. And Yobe, what are they doing there? And the insurgency is mostly in the north. What are they doing there? My honorable colleagues, we cannot take this as a mere allegation. We must stand as a nation, a sovereign nation, to defend this country. Because what this Trump tenor have done is to give us a leeway, is to a kind of to wake us up that it's time for us to be free. I believe from what the man have done, have shows that he loves us. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I believe we must rise up to defend Nigeria and defend our brothers that live in the north. Thank you, and may God bless all of us.
My name is Honorable Ambassador Peter Ifeanyi Uzokwe. As usual, I speak for the good people of Nnewi North, the Japanese capital of Nigeria, Nnewi South,
Chair rules.
Sigo constituency. I come from Anambra State. My honorable colleagues, each of the time we say allegedly, allegedly, we always want to see the cup half empty than half full. There is no smoke without fire, and there is no fire without smoke. I will suggest that all the agencies concerned that these allegations are made against, we must investigate the donor agencies. Number one, how did those money came into the country? And how were they utilized? These are the questions begging for answers. There was once a former military president that said, once an insurgency lasts for 3 days, there is sabotage and there is government in power that knows something about it. The truth is that my colleagues have said Maiduguri or other places, it has spread to all the states in the country, no matter how little, no matter how big. So, Mr. Speaker, I crave the indulgence of this honorable House to call for proper investigation. And if we must do this investigation, we must do it with all sincerity of purpose. We will not defend any, we will not have any ethnistic oration in doing that. Call a spade by its proper name. I so submit, Mr. Speaker.
The House. Mr. Speaker, my name is Sada Soli Jibia, representing Jibia Keita Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, this matter is a very grievous matter. This matter should be a source of concern for every single Nigerian. This matter should be considered and should be deliberated and should be taken serious by the Nigerian government and all those that are charged with the responsibility of protecting the integrity and the security of this country. Why did I say so, Mr. Speaker? For an allegation to come out from the US Congress, for those of us who have had some relationship with the way and the workings of the US Congress, it is not a matter that we should shy away from looking into. Mr. Speaker, the congressman that spoke about this matter is a ranking member in the Congress, so he knew what he was doing. Mr. Speaker, this betrays my point. When I brought a bill on this floor, the bill went to second reading. But for some reasons, in order to regulate and manage and observe these NGOs, these development agencies, and the CSOs, for some reasons, this bill is not yet slated. Perhaps we wouldn't have been where we are now, because it would have been given the Chief of General Staff complained about the involvement of development agencies, the NGOs, the CSOs in the affairs and the security of this country. So it is a matter that the Parliament should take seriously. Mr. Speaker, for the US Congress, a foreign parliament, to observe certain shenanigans interfering with the administration and the governance of other sovereign countries is a matter that we should take strongly. Nigeria is a country with a population 250 million estimated population. Mr. Speaker, this crisis in Borno today, since 2019, now we are getting to know why is it protracted. 2009. Since 2009, why is it protracted? There must be some involvement of serious financing, because we know these people, they are ragtag. Where are they getting this money? Where are they getting these weapons? So I urge this Parliament to look at this issue and investigate this matter holistically. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Name is Ibe Okwara Osonwa Ukabo Hafia, and I present the very prosperous people of Aruchukwu Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from God's own state with God's own governor. I come from Abia State. Mr. Speaker, this matter at hand is rather worrying when an agency cloaks itself with good deeds and an allegation of this kind of weight is brought upon them. It's rather disturbing. We cannot have a situation where the people that we seem to believe to be helping us are the ones that are actually hurting us. Hurting our national security, impacting on our economic stability. Mr. Speaker, when a congressman in America speaks, you have to hold it as something that has some sort of weight. Bearing in mind this same agency is from their own nation. And yet, we are supposed to keep quiet. Mr. Speaker, it is a serious allegation, very serious. Very, very, very serious. And we all need to put our heads together and find out if it is true or not, because according to the law, it's an allegation until it is actually substantiated. Whatever bodies that need to sit down and look at this terrible situation needs to come together, my Speaker. My colleagues, let us all vote accordingly to make sure that the bodies that investigate this do a thorough job, and our national security apparatus look into this also. Mr. Speaker, we are charged with the responsibility of speaking for our people. This is a talk for our people. Let us protect ourselves. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mukhtar Tolani Shagaya, representing Nigerians starting from Ilorin West, Asa Federal Constituency of Kwara State. Mr. Speaker, mine is just on the prayers from the motion that was aptly delivered, and it's that it doesn't include the Committee on Civil Society and Development Matters. And I believe as this matter concerns USA...
So you are not contributing,
yes,
you are
amending the
bringing
prayers.
an amendment.
Yes, sir.
So we take the two together. So any seconder to the...
Umar Ajilo, member representing Makarpi Kudan, rural constituency. I am from the most famous Emirate Council in the northern Nigeria, that's the Emirate Council in Kaduna State. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I have an amendment to add it as a prayer that due to the very important of these motions from my brother, Honorable Ino Garba of Gombe State, that this matter need the ad hoc committee with a period of time. That to show the concern of the House of Representatives under the leadership of Mr. Speaker, that we are serious for Nigerians, to protect them and to protect their lives. This is my amendment, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder to this additional prayer?
The need to investigate the allegation by U.S. Congressman Scott Perry, the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, has allegedly funded Boko Haram and other international terrorist organizations. The House notes with grave concern the recent statement by a U.S. Congressman Scott Perry, allegedly that the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, has been involved in sponsorship of Boko Haram and other terrorist organizations in countries where the different group operated. Note that Scott Perry made this claim during the inaugural meeting of the subcommittee on delivering on government efficiency, where he claimed that $697 million were spent annually, plus shipment of cash funds in Madaras, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram, etc. Mr. Speaker, aware that from 2022 to 2024, Nigeria has received a total of approximately $2.7 billion from USAID, of which $1.469 trillion was allocated for health, $887 million for humanitarian services, $141.77 million for economic development, $41.75 million for education, and $16.39 million for peace and security. The remaining funds directed towards programs support democracy, human rights, governance, and other sectors. Mr. Speaker, believe that the Boko Haram's dominant presence in northern Nigeria is safe to assume that the Boko Haram had significantly benefited from this fund, as allegedly by Scott Perry. Further note that the allegation is, if true, raises serious national and international security concern and questions about external influence on Nigerians' fight against insecurity, which had led to significant loss of lives and destruction of properties and displacement of over 1 million citizens over the years. Aware that Nigeria has been battling insurgency and terrorism for over a decade, with the government committing enormous resources to counter-terrorism operations while also seeking international cooperations to curb the menace. Concerned, Mr. Speaker, that such allegation, if not thoroughly investigated, could undermine Nigerian sovereignty, compromise national security efforts, and diminish public confidence in the fight against terrorism. Worried that failure to unearth the truth behind this weighty claim could embolden criminal and terrorist element, further exacerbating the insecurity challenges confronting the country. Mr. Speaker, as I'm talking, we have thousands of people, young children, children that became orphans, women that became widows, living in IDP camps without future, without hope. Mr. Speaker, I come with the following prayers. The House resolved to request the federal government to engage with the U.S. government through the House Committee on Foreign Affairs to obtain a formal clarification on the matter. Second, urge the House to mandate the relevant committees of national security, defense intelligence, foreign affairs, and intergovernmental affairs to investigate the activities. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, to summon the National Security Advisor, the Director General of the State Security Service, DSS, the Director of National Intelligence Agency, NIA, the Director of Defense Intelligence Agency, DIA, and Minister of Budget and Economic Planning to appear before the Committee on Peace Building and Social Cohesion over allegations of funding to terrorist group by United States Agency for International Development, USAID. Mandate a Committee on Peace Building, Social Cohesion to carry out immediate and thorough investigation on the allegations against USAID and other NGOs and report within 4 weeks for further legislative action. Mr. Speaker, I so move.